Hey everyone, Danielle here again. Welcome back to my channel. So today, as promised, I have my Arrow review for you guys, which is for the episode entitled Deathstroke Returns. And I know that I didn't do an Arrow review last week, and I didn't do a Flash review this week. I explained that in my updated makeup routine video from yesterday, that I just didn't watch the Flash episode because I already read like a bunch of spoilers, and I read about like what the episode was about, and I saw like other YouTubers reviewing it, and I just felt like it wasn't really an episode worthwhile watching because it felt kind of like a filler episode from how it was described in reviews, but it was also a good episode for Killer Frost, so I'm still on the fence about watching it. So that's why I'm not doing a review for it this week, just because I just felt like not really watching the episode. You know what I mean? I just didn't feel like it. So today I actually did promise an Arrow review episode since I didn't do that last week. So I'm going to get into that because there was a lot of stuff in this episode that was covered, and obviously we need to discuss some of it because the Vigilante reveal was just, well, might I say, the Vigilante reveal wasn't what I was expecting. But I'm actually really happy that they didn't go with, like, one, like, theory that was out there that Roy Harper was Vigilante, and that was why Colton Haynes was saying, you know, oh, Roy's coming back to Arrow really soon. Like, I'm happy that they didn't take it in that direction of Roy Harper being Vigilante. I just felt like that would have been stupid because, like, I hate the idea of, like, calling theories and stuff like that stupid, but it actually feels a bit stupid to me that they would bring Roy back as Vigilante just because they already brought him in season 4 of Arrow, stealing from tech companies, so it just doesn't make sense for me for them to make Roy Vigilante. Besides, like, how did he learn to use guns in, like, his short time away, unless if he met up with, like, I don't know, freaking Jason Todd. So, you know, yeah, but if they did do Roy Harper as Vigilante, then that would be like a complete nod to Jason Todd because he changed his name to Jason when he moved to Hub City. So, you know, but at the same time, I'm actually pretty really revealed that they didn't do that, and that they'll bring Roy back, but not in, like, a form of him being evil. Thank goodness. But I do have to say that overall, this episode of Arrow was actually really, really good. And I'm going to be adding Supergirl into the recap videos. And I'm going to be doing a Flash review next week, Supergirl next week, and Arrow next week. I'm going to try to do all of those next week. So that is a promise I'm going to try my best to keep. But overall, we're just going to be talking about this week's episode of Arrow because there was a lot to cover. Because Vigilante's identity was revealed. It's the Deathstroke two-parter. They're like the first part to it. So this episode actually I really did enjoy. I feel like, well, where do I want to start with the review itself? Well, I actually just want to talk about some of the major points that were in the episode that happened throughout ultimately. So first I want to start off with Slade revealing to Ollie that his son is not in Australia, he's actually in Casimir, and he's in prison. So Slade's like requesting Oliver, you know, go to Casimir, and I don't need you as the Green Arrow, I need you as the Mayor Oliver Queen, as some sort of like diplomatic force for me. So I actually felt like that was really good because it's not going to like compromise Oliver's promise they made to his son William. And ultimately, it shows some Deathstroke flashbacks with his son that I really did enjoy seeing. I really did actually enjoy seeing the Deathstroke flashbacks, especially because there were several Easter eggs that were dropped there. Like, there was one like, dating all the way back to, like, season 1, talking about the man that trained Ollie on Lian Yu and the guy that he was confronting while on some camping trip with his son. He says that that the guy is actually on purgatory, which we all know is Lian Yu. So that was a nice nod to that. And in addition, in one flashback, his son actually says that he mentions to Slade, you know, what about, like, free vacations, because I have a friend whose father works for Ferris Aircraft and they get free vacations because Slade told his son that he was a pilot. So I actually did enjoy the Ferris Aircraft Easter egg, but the more they mention, like, Ferris Aircraft Easter eggs, I'm like, give me Green Lantern. I want Hal freaking Jordan. Give me Hal Jordan so we can have a dynamic with both Ollie and Barry. Please, give him to me right now. Like, I've been waiting for a long time for Hal Jordan to come, and I highly doubt he's coming anytime soon. But I want him so bad. You have no idea. I want Hal Jordan so badly on the Arrowverse just because they reference him so many times that I'm just becoming impatient to see Hal Jordan on the show, because he can open up doors to like Atrocitus, Dexter, Jon Stewart, Jessica Cruz. So I actually do want to see Hal Jordan on the show, but I don't think that's happening anytime soon. I think they're probably waiting for, like, a later season of The Flash to introduce Hal Jordan in, but I really do want to see him soon. But I felt like the Ferris Aircraft, like, every single time I hear Ferris Air, I just think Hal Jordan. Like, that's the first thought that comes to my mind. Ferris Aircraft, Hal Jordan. So, next we're going to be moving into the Vigilante stuff, because Vigilante, this episode, like, I actually just saw Paige's review for it over on his channel that he posted last night that I watched today, and might I say that the Vigilante review did quite shock me, because the actor that they have, I didn't recognize him at all whatsoever. They said it was going to be a face that we saw before, but I did not recognize this actor for anything at all whatsoever. So when I saw Vigilante's mask, like, come off, I was like, who is that? Like, who is it? But it obviously was a shock to Dinah. And then Dinah actually reveals that Vigilante, she reveals his identity to the team, that it was her ex-partner and her lover, boyfriend, whatever you want to call him, Vincent Sobel. And I had a feeling, like, I knew that it was going to be a face that we saw before, but they recasted the character of Vincent Sobel because they didn't necessarily have, like, plans to use him, but they recasted him and they made him Vigilante for this Dinah Drake storyline. So in all honesty, in terms of how I feel about that, I felt like it was definitely a shock, because I don't think anybody was expecting Vigilante to be Vincent Sobel, and I don't think anybody was expecting him to be a metahuman either. So the fact that they made him a metahuman, like those bullets are just not affecting his head at all. I mean, like, his head is, like, pretty freaking indestructible, but when the particle accelerator exploded, when he was shot in the head, he was hit by that dark matter that made Dinah Drake the Black Canary. So I have to say that the Vincent Sobel reveal to be Vigilante, it definitely was a twist that I was not expecting to happen. I was not expecting them to make Vincent Sobel Vigilante, because, quite frankly, you know, you're thinking of, like, many other things that they could have done with it. Like, they could have done the actual Adrian Chase, that, but I have no idea. But at the same time, the reveal of Vigilante like, they literally just recasted the actor who played Vincent Silva. Like, they recasted him, and I honestly don't know how to feel about it, but I do know that this is going to be quite the foil for Dinah. So she's going to be having 2 foils this season. She's going to be having Black Siren, and she's also going to be having Vigilante to deal with too. So it's going to be quite interesting, because this is not just a guy who's a criminal who's going around killing people, but he's also somebody that she loved deeply, cared for very, very deeply, and obviously she's very conflicted about it, between wanting to kill him and wanting to see some sort of good in him. So, in all honesty, it's going to be quite a conflicting storyline for the Dinah Drake character. Now, I want to move into the Slade Wilson stuff yet again in Casmia. Slade's not having a fun time in Casmia. Like, he's actually going up against this group of people called the Jackals. And the Jackals, he is just ripping into them. He is ripping into them. He put his sword into somebody's, like, throat and stuff. Like, it was pretty darn cool to see Manu Bennett, like, fighting. Like, that was super badass. I actually did enjoy the action quite a bit there from the Slade Wilson part of it. So I actually did enjoy that scene really very much. And then it moves into, like, where his son has been this whole time, and his son is in charge of this group called the Jackals. So it's essentially Slade's son in charge of this group called the Jackals. And I do have to say that this is actually going to be really interesting in the second part of the Slade Wilson episode, because I'm actually really looking forward to that, due to the fact that I know that the showrunners, Andrew Kreisberg and Wendy Miracle and Mark Guggenheim, they had, like, a really hard time trying to get the Slade Wilson character on for this season for, like, a major story arc, because from what I'm aware of, the DC Extended Universe has big plans for him to be used in a movie eventually, but so obviously they don't want the DC TV, like, touching that, but they were, like, begging on their hands and knees to have the Slade Wilson character be available for this season. So I'm actually, like, really looking forward to seeing what's going to happen next week. And overall, it was a really decent episode to watch. I really did enjoy it, and I liked Felicity actually saying, you know, metahumans crashing the bachelorette party, because she went to town for Iris's bachelorette, and obviously metahuman attacked at a bachelorette party. She wasn't expecting that at all. So overall, it was a really good episode, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what's to come. And in my next video for today, that I'm going to be posting probably around 3 o'clock, or probably around like 3 o'clock, I'm going to be posting my list of like top 10 sexiest superheroes. So I have like a full list like written out and like reasons why I think these characters are sexy. So like I feel so awkward like saying, oh, I'm creating a list of like my top 10 sexiest superheroes, but I do have to say that I think it's going to be a lot of fun, because I'm going to be listing off like all my favorite like characters that are like both male and female that to me have like a sexiness to them. And I do have to say that I find all these characters to be like fantastic. So I do have to say that I will talk to you guys in my next video, which is going to be posted later on today. And next Tuesday I'll be uploading a video for Supergirl, and then Wednesday I'm most likely going to post for The Flash, and then next Friday will definitely be for Arrow, and after that I'm going to figure out like what I'm going to end up doing for the rest of my videos, because I have to come up with something more consistent now. Like, I'm trying to be more consistent with videos, but I'm planning on doing, like, some beauty, like, holiday videos in December for the Christmas season. And then I have Black Friday haul, and obviously, you know, Arrow airs on Thanksgiving this year. There's gonna be like a Thanksgiving themed episode, so obviously that's gonna be like difficult because I'm gonna be going Black Friday shopping. So after I post my Black Friday haul, I'm gonna have to watch the Arrow episode, and then I'm gonna have to go and film the review for that episode, or maybe I'll do a full blog post on it. I don't know. I haven't really been posting on my blog much lately, but you should keep up with my blog just because I post a lot on there, and I do a lot of like video scheduling and stuff like that on there. So if you guys want a basic idea of how I'm going to be filming my videos and posting everything, you should follow me on my blog, as well as be subscribed here, keep the notifications on, as well as just make sure that you're up to date with everything, and make sure that you're up to date with all the videos and all the blog posts. So yeah, I will talk to you guys later on today. Bye guys!